Welcome to War India News Hour. Digital well-being becoming the top agenda of C-suite. With COVID-19 again hitting the country with its second wave and disrupting almost every industry, everything is moving with the help of digital, starting from small businesses to large corporates. This has led to a grave need of encouraging digital well-being at the workplace. People are increasingly cautious of the extremes of digital consumption. As a matter of fact, over the years, people have adapted to ways of monitoring their phone usage through smartphone monitoring apps that help you to keep a tab on your phone usage. We can't deny the fact that digital activities lead to both positive as well as negative effects, and so it is extremely important that these are identified, recognized and managed. Smartphones lead to interference or distraction from full involvement in complex jobs, and increased screen time reduces concentration, focus and comprehension. At the same time, in many cases, technology's interference has also worsened productivity in some sense. Let's look into today's headlines in War India. Japan to invest $2.11 billion in key infrastructure projects in India. India and Japan have been expanding cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region with an aim to thwart China's aggressive postures. Both India and Japan have been expanding cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region bilaterally, the latest being a grant of $2.11 billion by Japan for a project for the improvement of power supply in strategically located Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Artificial intelligence can bring changes the way we fight wars, says IAF chief. RKS Bhadauria, Air Chief Marshal, Indian Air Force, said at a seminar that smart technologies like artificial intelligence have the potential to change the way we train and fight future wars. It's the right time for creating next-generation AI enablers for air war. He further said his force is also looking at using artificial intelligence in areas of data and intelligence fusion, maintenance as well as in its decision support system. Google wins copyright case against Oracle after 10 long years. The US Supreme Court has said that Google did not violate federal copyright law by using Oracle's Java software code to build the Android operating system, whereas Oracle accused Google of infringing their copyright as the latter copied the structure, sequence and organization of around 37 Java application programming interfaces APIs into the Android operating system. The decision overturned a lower court's ruling that had found Google guilty of copyright infringement. Cisco Plus as a service strategy unveiled. Cisco announced plans to help communication service providers and web-scale companies strengthen their networks. It has announced its new go-to-market strategy for hardware, software and services, Cisco Plus, which aims to provide simpler consumption and use of the Cisco portfolio. Cisco Plus will offer networking, security, compute, storage, applications and observability systems as a service with unified subscriptions that are designed to be easy to consume and simple to use, the company said. Quantum computing able to solve the age-old problem of reasoning. A new research from Cambridge Quantum Computing says the new technology can take partial information and produce intelligent inferences. It can be useful in making practical decisions. According to the head of the Quantum Machine Learning Division of CQC, Mattia Fiorentini, has shown how the quantum computers can handle intuitive reasonings using inference on a probability model which hadn't been approached this way before. It's interesting to see how a new technology can be applied to study a long-standing problem in artificial intelligence such as reasoning. IIT Hyderabad developed alternate to lithium-ion batteries. IIT Hyderabad researchers have developed a novel dual-carbon battery alternative to conventional lithium-ion batteries. They have developed a 5V dual-carbon battery utilizing self-standing carbon fiber mats as both electrodes. The battery, consisting of zero-transition metal, is environmentally benign. It may cut down the overall battery cost by 20 to 25% and is expected to curb the unpredictability in the marketplace. WazirX announces NFT marketplace for India. Cryptocurrency exchange WazirX announced a marketplace for non-fungible tokens or NFTs. By using the marketplace, Indian artists can auction their digital assets such as art pieces, audio files, videos, programs and even tweets, the company said in a release. WazirX founder Nishchal Shetty said NFT is a unique cryptocurrency-based token that is non-fungible in nature, which means that it can't be replaced by another identical item. The platform has faced an outage late Sunday night, shortly after it had crossed $270 million in daily trading volume. OneWeb to compete with SpaceX's Starlink in providing global space broadband service. Space internet provider OneWeb, the British-owned satellite broadband operator, recently blasted 36 satellites into the orbit. Chris McLaughlin, Chief of Government Regulation and Engagement OneWeb, said the number of satellites that Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk want to launch into the orbit is an issue. He added, "Do you want the orbit completely messed up because of collisions between two billionaires' satellites?" He further said space companies launching thousands of satellites is not a responsible way forward. PhonePe crossed 1 billion transaction mark on UPI. PhonePe, the Bengaluru-based digital payments and financial services company, which was formerly known as Flipkart Payments, owned and funded by retail giant Walmart, has become the first company to cross 1 billion transactions on Unified Payments Interface infrastructure. The company has achieved this visionary mark when the total transactions clocked around 1.3 billion on its platform across the payment instruments offering of wallet, cards as well as UPI. Pooran Jaiswal to head Ontario Healthcare as the CIO. Pooran Jaiswal has joined Ontario Healthcare as the Chief Information Officer and he will be reporting to Prem Sethi, COO of the company. Ontario Healthcare is a startup that focuses on the healthcare industry's supply chain. The company has a pan-India distribution network servicing more than 50,000 pharmacies, selling medicines of more than 150 top pharma companies. Summing up, the periodic shift of things moving to digital has become extremely important that we also focus on the health and wellness of the people around us. While digital transformation and adapting to these digital changes has become the need of the hour, at the same time it is important that the organizations focus on the physical and mental well-being of their employees. This not only helps in promoting a good work environment and better employee well-being, but also adds to a non-restricted continuity in business and enhanced productivity of the organization. This will help people engage with each other apart from their daily job and, more importantly, strike healthy communications. Most of us have been working from home since the last year and some still continue working from home and few have started going to the office and working in a hybrid model. In such a condition where hybrid working models are becoming popular, we have to recognize the importance of digital well-being, take timely breaks and keep ourselves sane while giving our 100% for effective results. With organizations taking into consideration the importance of physical, psychological and emotional well-being, the distance will not be a blockade anymore. It's time to engage and encourage digital well-being in C-suites. That's it for the day. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to War India News Magazine. You can download the War India app from Google Play Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.